Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV. I'm Clyde Whiting, and tonight we bring you round 3 of the Backfire Simsport GT4 TCR Challenge from the fantastic Daytona Road course. and with the NASCAR chicane. In the booth with me tonight, as usual, I have Pete Bingham. Good evening.
Evening, Clyde.
Bill Switzer. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
And doing the cameras in the background is Sam Boozing. Good evening.
Good evening, everybody.
So, Pete, Daytona, a track I think we both enjoy, the road course. However, the addition of the NASCAR chicane and its, shall we call them, mountainous sausage curbs, certainly throws a new twist into this track.
Yeah, and they certainly throw a lot of cars all over the track. They're massive. Let's hope nobody forgets mid-race, because the punishment for running straight through there is huge. I think it's like a 6-second slowdown. I don't know whether it's such a good addition personally. I preferred the course without that. They've obviously tried to, in real life, tame the turn 1 incidents, because it's notorious. It does the job by all means necessary, but I prefer it without, I think, because it's all about slipstream around Daytona generally, even on the road course, and that cuts up your slipstream, I think.
Yeah, and Bill, Pete's just said that, to try and curb the, excuse the pun, the turn 1 incidents. I'm not sure if it's worked. I seem to think that it makes people more impatient going into turn 1. The speeds are probably not as high as they would have been, but we've been here a couple of times and we have seen some crazy moves into turn 1.
Yeah, well, turn 1 has always been the difficult one for the road course, because you're coming in there hell bent for leather, and you kind of funnel down from 4 lanes down to, well, arguably 2, but it's actually a little bit less than that, and it does make it a little dicey. But my understanding was, I don't know, maybe I got this wrong, but I thought that chicane was put in. I thought NASCAR, trying to improve their ratings and so on, put that in. I thought they were going to have a NASCAR race that used that chicane. Now, I'm not positive. Pete may be totally right. I haven't done my homework, so I can't swear to it, but it really can do a lot of damage to your car and to your self-esteem when you bounce over there and bicycle for a while, that's for sure. But I don't know. It changes things up. It makes things a little bit differently, and I'm kind of with Pete. I like the old traditional one with the bus stop. I think it's a lot more exciting and a lot nicer. But anyway, we'll see what happens. It'll make for an interesting show.
Yeah, it certainly will. So we're in the 20-minute qualifying session at the moment. Not many drivers have set times yet. So good evening to Marco Namela on the chat, and also Alan Toon. Pete, though, this is the main talking point with this track at the moment, is these sausage curbs. Now, not only can you hit them and get thrown into the wall, but surely, even without hitting the wall, they must cause damage to the cars.
Yeah, I don't know in real life how they're going to get NASCAR to be able to navigate through that without somebody hitting it. And if they hit it, the cars are so low, it's just going to rip the underside of the car off, or at least the front and back fenders for just as a starter. It's going to be a really interesting way to deconstruct a car anyway. If you hit one of those beasts side on, it's going to absolutely rip your axles apart. They are huge. I don't know why they are that big. Some of the ones in other tracks, like some of the ones at Catalunya, they're a bit beastly. And we encounter some red ones. Where are those ones? Oh, I can't remember now.
Monza or Imola?
Imola.
Some biggies, isn't there?
Yeah. They're evil. These are a different type of evil. These are American bigger evil. Be bigger, do more damage.
Yeah.
I think it's definitely that. With these cars, obviously we get a fast repair, but certain things won't be repaired if you've not got a fast repair, and the underside of the car is very much one of them. And those curbs will just destroy the underside of the car.
Okay, so I don't know if Sam has got the standings ready for us, or whether I've just put him on the spot. But let's have a quick look at the standings. We've only had 2 rounds so far. So in GT4, Kevin Veermont currently leads the way. Stuart Dick is in second. Gregory Vranks in third. Roman Ratu, double R, in fourth. And Andrew Hopley in fifth. And then in TCR, we've got Tom Stanley that's won both races so far. David Ayres in second, Scott Malcolm in third, Carl Hardy fourth, and Chris Shaw in fifth. And then in the team standings, we have Mika Esports leading the way, Result Clothing in second, H Motorsports in third, Asymmetric GT4 in fourth, and Asymmetric TCR in fifth. So, as we said, this is our third race of the season. Last time out, Andrew Hopley took the win in GT4 to get his title race back on track. And Tom Stanley had another win in the TCRs. Now, Pete, can you see any new winners tonight?
Well, I'm surprised at where Chris Shaw is. It's odd to see him that far down the standings, and he's not here, is he?
He's not here tonight, no, by the looks of it.
So he's only going to drop further down. So, because he was vying for the lead last season quite a lot, and this would have been a good day for him to compete on that level, I think. Because this is a track that everybody knows, everybody's very familiar with it. Obviously, not with that chicane necessarily, but and I think he could have got himself back up that leaderboard. I think, yeah, strange that one, to be honest. Tom Stanley is going to have David Ayres and probably Carl Hardy for company at some points during this race, but he has shown in the last 2 races that he's a standout performer. Double R and Kevin Veermont definitely going to try and take it to Andrew Hopley, although we saw in practice Andrew Hopley is very, very handy around here.
Yeah, I was just going to say, Bill, Andrew Hopley, I'm surprised, is not top of the pile yet.
And all of a sudden, boom, there he is.
As that thought went through my head, he popped up in provisional polls. So where are the challenges to Andrew Hopley going to come from tonight?
I think I think Pete hit it on the head. I think if Roman Ratu can kind of get his act together, maybe at AAA. AAA, is he starting in the pits? No, it's not him. That's right. Stuart Dick's possibility. And you can never count on Kevin Veermont. He's made some pretty good, even though he's a little bit down in the time. He's 6th at the moment. He really he knows his craft very well. And I'm not sure how the Cayman stacks up against the BMW on Daytona. I'm not positive, but he's a possibility too. The one thing I did want to mention, though, is the nice. Good. I was going to say Tom Stanley is really, as far as qualifying, was a 2.5 faster than anybody else. But I see that Carl Hardy's put in a lap that's just a little bit less than a second slower. So that's good to see. Anyway, that's all I have.
Yeah, I think, Pete, I think qualifying can be a bit false, can't it, round here? Because it can be the difference between getting a toe and not getting a toe as to whether you're at the top or at the bottom. And also, we do say it quite a lot. It's an hour-long race, and qualifying isn't that important apart from to try and keep you out of the melee. But round here, I would say it's even less important because of that toe. You've really got to go like the clappers to break the toe of the car behind, because you feel it from like 1.5 seconds away.
Yeah, if you've got a setup where you've got very low downforce, you can get away from the guys behind you a bit quicker. But then you've got the infield section, which is actually quite twisty. There's some very, very tight turns in that infield. We're heading towards one now with Stefan here. He's in that lovely council paint scheme, as he's still not submitted a real paint. And
nothing wrong with that paint scheme.
Yeah, it's nice. I like it.
There's another nice
that
one.
That's very good as well. And no pies are kept in that vehicle overnight. That we found out last time. So the tow is huge around here, and obviously we've lost some of that tow advantage now because they've put that chicane in. As a result, it's maybe it's easier to get away now if you are particularly faster than everyone else, as Ben Cullen finds out just how much damage that's going to do to his suspension. You can easily pull back onto a car in front if they're a second and a half ahead of you on this track. So yeah, you kind of got to brake them in the twisty bits and then pull away from them on the big banking of the oval circuit. And like I said, with that new chicane, that takes some of that away, and therefore I don't know whether it'll affect the race. I'm not sure yet. I want to see what happens before I make a silly statement, because it may have no effect, but I think it will.
Yeah, I suppose it's another place where, we've seen it before. A driver is miles in front, one lapse of concentration into those yellow curb walls, and they're not the leader anymore. But yeah, like you say, we'll find out how it affects the race. Good evening to Tyler Newitt on the chat. So we are 13 and a half minutes into qualifying. Currently, your top three in GT4 are Andrew Hopley, Stuart Dick, and Triple A. And your top three in TCR are Tom Stanley, Carl Hardy, and Scott Malcolm. So, Bill, we've talked a lot about the NASCAR chicane, but turn one, we touched on it right at the start. That's notorious for, shall we say, some heroic driving.
Yeah, it certainly is. A lot of the really important passes are made there, to be honest, and it takes a lot of concentration, a lot of give and take to get through there successfully. I've never been really good at it, but there are people that can fly through there, like Nicole Foggy and people like that. But it's a pivotal corner, no doubt about it. And to kind of Pete mentioned why they made the bumps or the curbing so high in that new chicane. I think the purpose, Pete, is to keep them from shortcutting there, obviously. Because you're coming down there pretty quickly, and you could what should I say, cheat the corners a little bit if they were low. But just a scientific wild ass guess. I'm not sure, but it could be it. Oh, and one other thing. I noticed, Clyde, this isn't really that important, but Ben Cullen has no side number plates on his car.
We had that the other day, didn't we? Or the other week?
For some price, for some reason. There it is, right there.
Yeah, it does have it on my view.
Does it really? Well, I see it on Robert Ben's car, but I don't see it on this one. I see the front and back number, but I don't see them on the sides.
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah.
Can you? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
See, I live under a dark cloud, I swear.
And Pete, so one of the other places that people can get caught out, and I'm not sure of the turn number, but coming out of the infield section back onto the banking where you go over that little hump and the car goes light, and you sort of expect people to get thrown into the wall, but they end up spinning infield.
Yeah, turn 6, I think that is, and it's a strange corner. You are trying to power your way out of it. The bit that you're powering your way out of, we're approaching it now with Scott Malcolm, is actually flat. So you start braking before the yellow.
7, actually. Right here is 7.
Is it 7? Oh, okay.
Yep. I don't know what this is. This is the one you're talking about.
This is the bit.
You're usually already on the infield, spinning out by this point. Scott's doing a decent job. But there is a very strange one as well, where you drift out towards that wall, even though you're going uphill. And you've got like wheel spin going on your front wheels. And that's equally as bad, but obviously not as terminal sometimes as turning infield. It's just the way that the car gets disturbed when it's unbalanced and turning, I think. But I've been caught out there quite a few times. And if you're in a big field race, there's usually 2 or 3 on the first lap for sure that are spinning out on the inside there. We'll have to watch that for sure. And when the tyres get up to temperature, I think that'll be less of an issue because you don't generally see it later in the race.
Yeah, so greetings to Dave on the chat. We're all disappointed that you're not in the race and you're on the chat again. We'd love to see you in this. The other one is what I find can cause issues is the International Horseshoe. It is a dive bomber's heaven because the fastest way round that corner is to go as far out left as you can and then cut a late apex, straighten the corner up and away you go. But because the track is so wide there, Pete, it just... you see so many people take the racing line without realising that somebody's gone up the inside of them.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people who just nail it down the inside and don't give the racing room, or they use your car to turn their car. That features quite a lot as well. It's a magnet for incidents. I don't think it'll be any different today, later in the race, though. Maybe in turn 1, but these guys have now sorted themselves out in this league. I think they run a good, fair race. And I don't think we'll see any of that naughtiness, but I might be very, very wrong. Who knows? I don't see any names in there that have featured recently, so I think we'll have a safe few turns at the start, but we might see some dive bombs later on.
Yeah. So we've got a fairly good field tonight. We've got 13 GT4s and 5 TCRs. I was hoping we was going to have 6 TCRs, but obviously there's no Chris Shaw. As for the race, we always say it, Bill. It's an hour-long race. You don't have to try and win it in turn 1. There's plenty of time to get moves done. There's an enforced pit stop. There's the unknown of the safety car. Will it? Won't it? If it is, when will it? And we have got a very, very good standard of driving in this league. Touch wood, probably put the mockers on that. Do you expect people to be patient tonight, Bill, or do you think people are just going to try and get everything in the first lap?
Well, I really don't know. I can go either way. I guess I'm kind of a suspicious guy, and I have a tendency to think when people tell you that, they're the ones that are going to dive bomb the corner, to be honest. But I think the seasoned drivers that we have, I don't think we're going to have a great issue. We, like Pete said, I mean, you funnel, 13 cars into that corner. There's going to be a little bumping here and there, but I don't think we're going to have any craziness, hopefully. I'm not saying it can't happen, because it certainly can, but very, very good question, very loaded question. And as far as all the factors that you mentioned, whoa, whoops. Anyway, there we go. All the factors that you mentioned weigh in heavily to, what you're thinking about. But unfortunately, they're not in your control as far as the safety car possibly coming out. And, the best you can do is drive your own race, try to stay in contention, try not to make too many mistakes, and, hope for the best. I guess that's about all you can do, really.
Yeah, certainly. So we're in the last knockings of qualifying. Checkers are out. We're just waiting to see if anybody can improve on their times.
Yeah, times on the screens don't look necessarily like anyone's going to improve. A few green sectors, but nothing that's setting the time.
Yeah, I've seen nothing purple yet.
No.
Looks like the H team has blocked out the front row there.
They certainly have, haven't they?
Yeah, they were doing a bit of formation driving on a lap back there. Did you see that? They were
Yeah, I
side
did
by
see
side.
that.
Yeah, cocky or what? I'm surprised that Kevin Viamont is in 7th currently. I thought he'd be moving up to a higher position.
Let's see. We do have a Porsche Cayman in what 4th place there, Stuart Dick. So
Yeah, Stuart's done well there because I do think we've seen a few tracks where the Porsche has benefited from all the twisty sections. The last 2 races, actually. This one is not going to be that way, is it? This is a power track and a top speed track, and I think the BMW is going to feature a lot in the top half of the field.
But that's just on a single qualifying lap. In the race, if the Porsches can stick behind the BMWs on the oval, they're going to be better through the twisty sections. So
yeah, I agree with that.
That power that the BMW has got might be negated by the tow tonight. We'll have to see.
I'm not sure, but I think the Porsche may navigate the new crazy chicane better than the BMW does as well. Of course, the last picture we saw wasn't proof of that.
Yeah.
Stuart reversing down the wall.
Yeah.
He was just showing us what can happen when it goes wrong, that's all.
Demonstration. Okay.
Okay, so let's get our starting grid for you. So in GT4s, Andrew Hopley goes off from pole. Teammate Gregory ranks in 2nd. Double R in 3rd. We have Stuart Dick in 4th. Triple A in 5th. Paul Burgess in 6th. Kevin Viamont in 7th. Mark Heron 8th. Rob Venn 9th. Yaz Samai 10th. Ben Cullen 11th, Stefan Goebel in 12th, and then Simon Chester rounds out the TCR field. Over to you, Pete.
Yeah, and in TCRs, Tom Stanley will be your pole man. Carl Hardy will go off 2nd. Scott Malcolm will go off 3rd. David Ayres will be 4th and 5th. And rounding out that field will be Roger Morton.
Okay, so hopefully if Sam can get it up, we will have a picture-in-picture for you, looking back at the TCR field. Don't forget, rolling start.
It looks like the correct button was pushed tonight. We got a rolling start here.
What are you trying to say, Bill?
That's it. That's Bill setting up all the servers from now on.
Dear,
no, actually, I know something happened because you had pushed the right button and you didn't get it. Where was that? I forget. Got a standing start instead. I forget what it was.
Is that Bathurst?
You can't beat a standing start.
Could be.
I think these rolling starts are for girls.
I do prefer the standing start. It has to be said.
The rolling starts kind of weak American starts. That's what we do. We don't do standing starts over here.
It features in many leagues, doesn't it, around the world? But I think it separates the field out too soon.
Yeah, well, it's it's another factor that you have to deal with. Really, standing start. I mean, it makes it more difficult, really.
Yeah, definitely. Right then, through the evil of the chicane, last chicane. He's gone.
We gotta go.
Yeah, TCRs are gone. They are single file already.
Double R has moved up into 2nd place.
He has. He's done a great move there on Gregory.
Nice start, yeah.
Yeah. Triple A under some pressure from his teammate, Stuart. I had to just double check which car that was because it went all very dark.
And that is Paul Burgess, is it, behind him? Yeah.
It is, yeah. He's done all right there, hasn't he? He's not usually. I don't mean this in a
No.
negative way, but he's not usually that high up the field.
So in TCR, we're pretty much in the same order we started. Tom Stanley is trying to break away, but Carl Hardy is going with him, and they are leaving the other three to battle for third position.
And if you look there, AAA he's got past Stewart, his teammate further back in the lap, but the gap from AAA back to Stewart now is considerable already, and they've only done one section of the oval.
Yeah, I was wondering how. I was trying to watch that too, Pete.
Yeah. I'd like to think that the Porsche doesn't get absolutely mullered on the straights, but I think it's gonna.
Well, you would think it would cut through the air a heck of a lot better than that.
House brick. It's a
The
house
big-
brick with a fin on the back, isn't it?
B
The
for
toe is
boat
massive in
M4.
the TCR.
Sorry?
The toe is massive in the TCR.
Really?
Yeah, Carl
All right.
Hardy's just come from about 10 car lengths back to about
Wow.
2.
Whoa. So, I think we're all safely through that first pass of the last chicane.
Yeah, TCRs are in there now.
And look at Roman Ratu. Oh boy, easy, buddy.
Yeah, TCRs all got through safe.
Cool. I've no idea what it's like. Ooh, Roman Ratto.
Side by side
Challenge
with.
for the lead. Oh, no. Ooh,
Wow. How'd he do that? Holy mackerel!
I seriously expect that was not intentional.
Jeez.
How on earth?
Was one heck of a catch, I'll tell you that.
Catch? It was a catch and an overtake.
Wow, yeah, I know, really. Oh, here we go again.
Side by side
He
all
made
the way.
contact, didn't he, with somebody? Yeah.
Oh, that was a bit of net code, that, with Gregory.
Yep, and then he got Andrew Hopley a little bit in the back end, not too hard, but I have a feeling Roman's as surprised as we are about that one.
Yeah, I would say so. Plus, I don't think he was near enough to get that contact. I think there was net code in that.
Yeah, it's pretty close. Yeah, I don't know either.
So, around we go, lap 2 towards the bus stop.
Yeah, TCR fields is still the same. Tom Stanley leading the way. Carl Hardy is going with him. And the other three are getting dropped. So that's your picture done for now.
Kevin Viamont strobing the car in front of him. And Andrew Hopley takes back the lead he lost on the previous lap.
Love tap there.
It was.
Yes, it was. He knows you're there, Double R. Trust me.
It's very tight here between Carl and Tom.
Yeah, it's literally it's the toe round the oval that's keeping Carl in it. It's it's massive in this car for some reason.
It's going to make for a very exciting race then, as long as one of the two of them doesn't bin it.
Very true.
It's definitely split out into 2 races, hasn't it?
Yeah, unless if they start battling, obviously the other 3 will come back into it.
Yep.
David Ayres has got in front of Scott Malcolm.
I tell you, all the kidding that Carl Hardy takes, I tell you, he's really upped his game. He really is doing very well.
He's not a bad driver, is he?
Not at all. I mean, I certainly think he's better than when he first started.
So this is a group of 5 now that have split themselves off ever so slightly from the rest of the GT4s. Don't know why Gregory's gone so high on the track. I'm not sure what the tactic is there.
Yeah, well,
better line into this chicane.
maybe,
Do you think?
yeah, I would say, maybe, possibly.
They've concertinaed right up. Triple A's right on his 6 now.
Dix hasn't exactly lost him either. He's right back there as well.
Yeah, and Andrew Hopley's got ever so slight lead over Romam at the minute, but that just disappeared instantly in turn 1.
We've got a side-on view of Triple A tonight.
Oh, right, yeah.
Look at that.
Why is he looking through his VR at a screen? Always good when they share the cameras and let everybody at home see what their rigs are like and how they're coping. Yep. I wish I had his seat. That looks so much better than mine.
Yeah, he's certainly putting some pressure on Gregory at the moment. And so, I think Stewart's being kept in it in the Porsche because of the toe. I honestly do.
Yep, and even, who is that? Paul Burgess is not that far away from him either.
See, just watching AAA there on that inset camera, he's got one of those F1 style, I call it, steering wheels. With it's got a wheel. It's like a, I don't know what you call that. I don't think I could get on with one of them. I've never tried to drive with one. But he was also reaching out to change something over to his left. And I don't race with VR, even though I keep getting told by Clyde, use the VR set that I bought. And the same for you, Bill. you get told that all the time as well. How hard is it, Clyde, to change on your button box or press something on a keyboard or whatever you need to do while you've got that?
Got to be by memory, isn't it?
I gave up with all that and used mapped the buttons on my steering wheel instead.
Yeah. Right. Okay. I remember you saying when you first started using it that you had an itch on your leg and you tried to itch your image. The image.
Yeah, because you can see your legs in the car. I tried to scratch my in-game knee.
Yeah, because he shouted out because he punched his desk.
Yeah. So, Roger Morton's got past Scott Malcolm as well.
Scott Malcolm may be laying back. You never know. He's a crafty old guy.
He is a wily old fox, isn't he?
He
think
does
that's Yaz Samai doing the newly formed Daytona International Rally.
Yeah.
Well, Baz Samai took a new route onto the oval. That was interesting. And went right across the infield. That was interesting.
Oh, Carl Hardy's putting some pressure on for the lead now.
He is, but that's hard to do in a front-wheel drive car right there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
You've got to get him in the braking zone, really. Or out of the braking zone. He could be in a really good position to get proper slipstream now. If he can stay that close coming around this turn.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether these cars top out, though.
Ah, right.
Yeah, he might be able to pick up a little speed, but then he gets out and buffs the wind. He may not be able to go any faster. That's true.
True, yeah.
Right, there's the toe.
Yep.
And he might choose to not do that. He might just stay there. We've seen people do this, haven't we, Clyde, in races?
Well, yeah.
He's off the gas early. He's not trying it.
It really depends on what Carl's lap times would be compared to Tom's on a standalone lap with no toe, because if Carl thinks that he can match Tom's lap time...
No. And turn 1 has claimed some victims.
As Gregory rants into the back of Roman.
Whoops, stay there.
Who spun and hit Stuart Dick. Crunch.
He's in Yeah, he's in bother there because there's nothing he can do
Yeah.
to get his car turned around
It
without
goes right to the back. It's too
wiping
bad.
himself or someone else out. So yeah.
Yep.
Marco on the chat has said he's saving fuel. It certainly looked that way to me.
Right, let's
Right.
have a quick look what happened. Strange one, that.
Oh, that was into the back. Who was that?
Gregory.
Oh, Gregory, yep. He was into the back of Roman, yeah. Roman.
Weird
Came
one. He just
across-
kind of followed him all the way through the corner. And then,
Yeah.
very odd.
So yeah, what I was saying there about the fuel saving, you know, if Carl thinks he can match Tom for lap times, just stay behind him and save fuel.
Yeah, yeah.
Pit at the same time, take less fuel, come out in front.
I'll tell you what, that hit that Roman took from Stewart, I mean that was a big hit to the front wheel. I can't believe he's got away without any damage.
Well, AAA has been the benefactor of it.
Yeah.
Gregory readdressed though, didn't he? He let him back in, yeah. I believe.
Yeah, I think he did.
Yep, me too.
So that puts all of them well out of the tow.
Yeah, kind of messed up that nice little line. Oh well.
So Scott Malcolm has got back in front of Roger Morton.
Looks like he's closing on the back of David Ayres too with his slipstream.
Yeah, these guys
Looks like
are
he's going for it. No, not this time.
He certainly had a look. Carl Hardy appears to have been dropped by. Whoa! Oh, that looks so painful. So painful. Carl Hardy looks like he's been dropped by Tom Stanley. Maybe not. He's reeling him back in a bit now. I think Carl had a bad either chicane or bus stop on that last lap.
Yeah.
He seemed to drop way back.
Yeah, Tom Stanley pulled away from him coming out of the bus stop pretty quickly.
Yeah. So these 3, or is it 4? Is Rob Venn on the back of the
Rob Venn is snuck up on the back of these, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's that real handsome car. Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. So
Up and
Gregory. I think Roman is suffering from lack of top speed with the damage, potentially.
Could be.
Probably, yeah.
When's the earliest these guys can pit? Do we know?
No idea.
No secret informer, huh?
I think that's a given there, look. He's
no.
He's not going to hang on to it.
Oh, that's going to get you a nice slowdown.
That's a slowdown, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's going to smart.
It really stresses me out now that iRacing have put that timer on it.
That moves Paul Burgess into third with the Roman trying to chase him down.
Ooh. That's very wide. Oh, we're back here with these wasps. So these guys are fully going to get... Yeah, they're going to fully get in each other's way now. Although Rob Van's done a good job there. I mean, he's benefited from the fact that Gregory's clearly had a slowdown and moved himself from the front to the back of that queue. Oh. Rob Van's getting very fighty now.
Oh, Rob wants more, doesn't he?
He certainly does.
He can taste it.
And he's probably got the cleanest car of these 4 here.
Definitely. He can feel it.
He got a tyre off just there, which will have upset the car, and he's lost a bit of time now. Needs to get stuck into that slipstream.
Yeah, a little far back for the slipstream up front. Gregory Vranex is benefiting by his slipstream.
So
Yeah, Paul Burgess. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Pete's right. I think Double R has lost some top speed.
Yep.
I think if you're anywhere near him, when you get to the banking, you can breeze past him.
Yeah.
He is. Look at, he can't stay up with him right now.
Look at the way that Rob's catching him.
Yep.
God, he's good on the brakes, though, isn't he? Look at that.
Yeah, I think braking and accelerating, not a problem. It's when they hit that top of the rev range in the high gear.
Check out Paul Burgess in third.
I know, he's doing a great job.
Isn't he? And just for the viewers, Andrew Hopley leads by about half a second, and then there's from AAA, and then back to this group is a whopping 9.5 seconds.
Yeah, that little scuttle kind of separated them out a little bit.
So Scott Malcolm has now got past David Ayres. So Scott's now in third place.
There's a better line through there from Scott, I would say. He's carrying more momentum, but it didn't seem to do him any good. Although I'm not good with front-wheel drive cars anymore, so
Yeah,
I don't know
you
what
just see the
advantage is.
leaders flash through the picture as well. So
Yeah. Stuart
Porsche.
Has he been in? No, he can't have been.
No, he was the one that was kissing the wall over there off turn one, trying to get going again.
His car looks less damaged than I expected it to look. Oh, Rob Van got slow down or just done the bus stop wrong?
I don't know.
He wasn't. Yeah, he had a look going in.
Probably offline then. It was the wrong side of Roman, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, that's it. Slow down.
Got it gathered up. Let's put Kevin Vermont on the back of this battle pack now.
Has, and here's Ben Cullen and Mark Heron duking it out.
Yeah, Kevin Vermont's finally seemed to move forward. He was kind of staying in the same spot that he started, but he seems to be putting a little more pressure, trying to move up now.
Bit of flashy lighty there from Rob Venn.
That was from Kevin.
Kevin, I think, yeah.
Rob, then?
I think Kevin was the flashy lighty guy, I think.
Yeah.
I don't think Kevin liked the fact that Rob made his car really wide, but
right. And I am surprised that Kevin is as far down as he is.
Oh,
and
look at AAA. Oh, baby.
That is a challenge for the lead. I think Andrew backed out of that. He has, yeah.
I wonder if he had a slowdown. No, I don't think so. But
I don't know anywhere that you can pick up a slowdown before the bus stop.
I don't either.
Yeah, I think that was just pure slipstream, wasn't it?
Mm. We've seen these two race before, haven't we? Like properly race in the last season for one of them, and it was an absolutely fantastic race.
Yeah, two very, very respectful drivers.
And that's what AAA looks like driving when he's in the lead. He's in the Oh, we just lost him. Okay. Well, Kevin Vermont's pushing really hard behind Robert.
Yeah,
Robert Venn. Yep.
I'm not sure the Porsche has got the grunt to get past it though.
That was my concern before. Look at how much distance there is to Rob's car now.
He can get up to it.
Yeah.
but there's nothing extra to get past.
No, he gets all his distance in the turns, and then as soon as Rob gets on a straight or into the corner that leads to a straight, he makes his car nice and fat.
Whoop,
and
he's
away
looking.
he goes.
Nope, not quite.
Marco Namela says that Porsche looks like little brother following big brother. The size difference is massive, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It really is. Oh, he's going to do an out and in, I think, trying.
Yeah, I don't think that'll work.
That's a tough corner to do that on,
Well,
too.
the BMW has got such a massive launch from the corner. So Rob needs to sit in... Kevin needs to sit in Rob's slipstream now, pull right onto the back of him and tuck on the left-hand side. But I just don't think he's got the top speed.
David Ayres going back past Scott Malcolm.
Yep.
It's a good
Or is he? Or
lead,
is he? He's on the wrong side for this. There we go. Cuts off that attempt. Doesn't exactly stick
is sat there, isn't he? Thinking,
Laughing.
oh, boys, have a little tangle.
Yeah.
Where's AAA? Oh, there he is. Okay.
So these two are...
So Hobley's just gone off and had a spin.
Oh, yeah. Coming out of the the bus stop.
Oh, that's the long way around, isn't it? He's got a
Paul
cone.
Burgess is going to go past him.
Oh, yeah. And Paul's got company, hasn't he? Yep.
Here come the pack.
Ooh. Don't know about you, but my screen's frozen.
No, I'm still good.
Yeah, mine's moving.
So Kevin Veermont finally gets past Rob Venn.
Yes, he did.
I think I'm going to have to reload iRacing.
So AAA has got a massive 11-second lead because of that.
Yes, he did. Whoa! Scott Malcolm, wow.
Holy schmoly.
Off the ski ramp he goes. Wow. That's the highest up in the air that TCR's ever been. Wow.
And Roger Morton goes, thanks, boys.
Really? See you later.
You'll have to bear with me. I've lost iRacing.
No worries. Tom Stanley seems to have dropped Carl Hardy as well.
Huh. Ooh.
Here we go. Hey! Oi.
Yeah.
There's a great battle with these three.
Yeah, it really is.
Roger will be looking in his mirror now saying, come on, boys, keep going. Keep battling, and that'll give me the chance to break this toe.
Yeah, one more time over the sausage curves and I'm home.
So it's still a tight battle.
Look at
David
that
Ayres
toe.
is going to go for it again. No, backs out of it. That third, fourth, fifth, sixth.
Scott Malcolm got through the
GT4 is hotting up.
Scott Malcolm got through that bus stop really nicely. Holy God, he picked.
Yeah, he gapped him there, didn't he?
Oh boy, I tell you. I noticed Scott was real careful not to hit those sausage curves this time.
Yeah. So yeah, this is Paul Burgess, Andrew Hopley, Romain Ratu, Greg Branks, Kevin Vermont.
Kevin Viamont's looking at the back of Gregory Branks right now. He's a little bit behind, but he seems to be coming up.
Double toe.
Look at how he closes up on him. Wow.
That was almost then as if he went down a gear too many.
Yeah, it sounded like he went back to second gear there. Or third, possibly. I'm not sure which one it was. He's going down an extra gear.
Oh, Romain's gone wide.
Yep, sure has. Oh! Dropped the wheel off and... Uh-oh. Wow, look at that. Whoa, baby.
Yeah. I think Kevin Vermont overcooked that.
That was a little optimistic, I think,
Yeah.
Kevin, but hell of a shot.
Yeah, and to be fair, he's given the place back.
Yep.
So, what have I missed?
Well, Kevin Viamont's kind of making a charge here. He almost took 2 cars out in the International Horseshoe trying to make a really brilliant move, but it didn't work out. But he gave the spot back, so we're back underway again.
I saw Scott Malcolm trying to do the whole Red Bull, giving it some wings over the massive yellow sausage curbs.
Yeah, that was a crosswind landing if ever I see one.
You're not kidding.
I wonder how much damage he's got from that, because that won't have been gone unnoticed by the damage model on iRacing.
I don't know. He seems to still be going along pretty good. I don't know. Maybe.
So the GT4 battle is fantastic.
Yeah, these 3 guys are really...
Oh, I think Double R's holding these 2 up because of that damage.
Yeah, Gregory's looking.
And Gregory's going to have damage of his own, isn't he? Because he was the one that got into the back of Double R.
Yeah. He's got it done now.
Yeah, sure does. If he gets this clean, he's home free.
Hopley's pitting.
Yes, he is.
He's
actually, there's
and
3
Gregory
of them.
and Roman. Gregory Ranks and Roman Ratu.
So AAA, Paul Burgess, Kevin, Rob, and Ben have all gone through.
Yeah. They stay out. Yep.
As is Mark Heron,
Stefan Goebel, Stuart Dick, and Simon Chester.
Yeah, Stuart Dick's just entered pit lane actually.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah, he would. He got all that damage, didn't he?
Yeah, he'll be. This must be the very first opportunity you can do this, because all those cars have got damage.
Yeah, Scott Malcolm's just got 3rd place back through the bus stop again. I'd say he's good through the bus stop, isn't he, Bill?
Wow, he really sails through there. I'm telling you.
I think Roger pulled out of it early then. Ooh, David Ayres.
Whoa.
Kamikaze specialist.
Whoa. Oh. Oh, this is why we like this league. It's good, isn't it?
So we're coming up to halfway.
Still can't imagine like 20 of these little honeybees going around like this. Wow.
They really seems to have fun. I think I'm gonna join them the next one and leave you to the cameras and the broadcasts.
Good idea. You can do the cameras from your car.
Yeah, not sure about this one. It sounds really fun. I like this TCR battle. It looks really good.
GT4 leaders in.
Yep, AAA.
Some people are a lot better at momentum cars than others. I'm not really good at a momentum car. It's a tough to drive one of those.
I used to
Second
look.
place is in. Third is
third.
in.
I think they'll all follow now.
Yeah.
I used to like driving those Clios that we used to race, Clyde. They were great fun, weren't they?
Yeah. Ben Cullen has stayed out and takes the lead. I think Mark Herron has stayed out as well.
Nice looking paint. Ben Collins' car.
So AAA has come back in third, which is net first.
Okay, yeah.
Still with a decent lead over Hopley.
He's lost a bit though because he was over 12 seconds in the lead before the pit stop, and now he's at 11-ish.
Well, Hopley's passed Burgess in the pit stop.
Ah, okay. Okay, we got an in car with not in car, in cockpit with AAA. Yeah, you were mentioning those hoverboard type steering wheels. I don't know. I don't think I could use one of those.
I'd end up crashing because you know how you feed the steering wheel.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you feed that, you're going to get air. Yeah, exactly. And they put 97 buttons in that little spot too. I'm telling you.
Yeah. You can write a novel with all the buttons that are on that steering wheel.
Really? I know something near and dear to Clyde and my heart is I hate to see them in BTCC now. You see a few of the cars have them in there too.
Yeah, I do a lot of one-handed steering, so I don't think it'd work for me somehow.
Difficult with one of those, yeah.
Oh, Mark
Herron's in the pits. Yep.
So Ben Cullen is the only one that hasn't pitted yet in GT4.
He's enjoying it too much, isn't he?
Look, if he can move up a little bit, make a fast pit stop, he'll gain a couple spots maybe.
Well, he's flashing his lights at us just to let us know that he's listening to the broadcast as well.
I wonder if that extra large fuel tank that we put in is going to work.
Don't
Fuel hack. Solar panels on the roof. So
okay.
this is carrying on this.
Roman Ratu and Gregory Ranks.
Yeah, well, Roman should be back up to speed now. These three just carry on.
Well, it was fun while it lasted, huh, Roger? Oh, well. They might do it again. Give them a chance.
Oh, it's a strange line.
It was nearly a very good line, wasn't it?
It nearly was, yeah. That was a cutback line, wasn't it? David Ayres, what's happened to Carl Hardy, by the way?
He's just been slowly dropped, I think.
Right. Because Tom Stanley's now got country mile between him and Scott Malcolm. And we were mentioning Scott Malcolm earlier in the race, saying he's at the back. He does that, doesn't he? He drops back and then just makes his way back forward again.
Yeah, Stuart Dick is now working his way back through the field after getting his damage sorted.
Yeah, Simon Chester.
And these guys, now they've got the cars fixed. Hopefully they won't break them again. Strange line from Gregory through there.
Yeah,
Roman's got a big run now.
I think he had to get out of it. He was afraid of hitting that second curbing there. He kind of backed out a little bit.
Okay, Ben Cullen has finally pitted.
You tip the news on the big tank, so he didn't want to have anybody realize.
Well, he's come out in 7th, so
Decent. That's good.
okay,
Scott Malcolm.
TCR leader has pitted.
Scott Malcolm drives his TCR like a Ferrari GT3, holds it on the rev limiter for a few minutes.
Yeah, I wonder how long it takes for a pit stop on these TCRs around here.
Well,
'Cause
Carl,
they'll use a lot of fuel, won't they?
yeah, I think Carl Hardy blinked first, and then Tom Stanley covered him off on the next lap.
Oh! That was a close one. Roger Morton and David Ayers almost had a side-to-side. There's Carl Hardy.
I don't know whether Carl Hardy took tyres or just overfueled, but
Tom Stanley just came out of the pits, I believe, too.
yeah, Carl's stop was a lot longer than Tom's, and I expected it to be shorter because of the fuel saving he was doing.
Yeah, Tom Stanley's got a daddy-sized lead now of 14.5 seconds.
Yeah.
It's the pit
Carl
lane
was right on
time
his
that is.
bumper. God, for how many laps?
Yeah, that's the pit lane's time for Carl that is longer, not the pit stop time. I think he overshot the spot or something like that. We'll try to find out.
Yeah, that'll hurt you. Okay, here's this pit stop here.
Nope.
Yeah, to back up.
Yeah,
That's a few seconds
too
right
far
there.
forwards by the looks of it.
Yep. And potentially didn't notice initially either because it took him a while.
Then he didn't realize he was in
First,
He was trying to go back and he was in first.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Again, I'd like to say I've never done that, but I have.
We've all done that, Pete.
Oh, Mark
Well,
Heron.
Mark Heron a little wide there, yeah. Sorry,
making his own lines around the track.
whatever works.
Okay, so David Ayers has gone in.
He hasn't been in yet, huh?
See, I was always told when you drive at Daytona, pit when everybody else pits around you, because otherwise you lose the tow.
Yeah, well, obviously I think these guys as well are worried about safety car, so...
Of course, yes.
All was equal in top speed in these cars. I'll tell you, Kevin Viamont would have been by these guys about 20 laps ago. Really, I mean, he is just brutal through all the infield and stuff.
He's definitely struggling to pass these BMWs on any of the oval sections.
He seems to have a bit of a toe there.
Yep.
Now he closes up on him in here.
Very clean there, isn't it?
Very nice. Just kissed that last one, no harm though. The BMW seems to accelerate out better than the Porsche does also. Look at this, wow.
You know the person who'll be crapping themselves more than anybody else about a safety car, don't you?
Scott Malcolm.
Triple A.
Yeah.
He's got a 9.5 second lead over Hopley, and
Whoa,
the safety
Kevin
car
Viamont.
could get rid of that.
Yeah.
Kevin Viamont, I think, has Greg Ranks. Whoop, where'd he go? I lost him. Oh, there he is. Oh, no wonder stealth.
Yeah. He had the Pete cloak on for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, did he push the stealth button by mistake or what? He needs, you know what the Porsche Cayman needs? It needs, like the Indy cars have a push to pass button. Gives you 10% more power so you can get by.
Yeah.
That's what the flashy light button does, doesn't it?
Apparently so.
So if the safety car doesn't come out in the next 5 minutes, it won't be coming out.
Right. Is anybody in the race not pitted? Scott Malcolm and Roger Morton.
Yeah.
So they're playing with safety car fire, really, aren't they?
They are. Evening to PVG on the chat.
Kevin had a massive look then, didn't he?
Yeah.
He just can't get on terms with Gregory. Can't get side by side, can he?
No. Look at the closing speed coming in here.
Nope.
Wow.
Yeah, he's either going to have to go for a big lunge or hope that Gregory makes a mistake, isn't he?
Yep.
Taking that massive wide line that you were describing before, Clyde.
Yeah, it just, like you say, he hasn't got the grunt, has he, coming out of the corner?
No.
He probably stays up high so he can keep the momentum going, even though it's a little bit longer, yeah. Oh, that's your grunt. Okay, I got you, yeah.
The oval section keeps him in touch.
That's right.
And then the infield section, he's better on the brakes, he's better on turning, but he just hasn't got the grunt coming out to do anything with it.
So just so we know what's going on at the front, AAA's what was an 11-second lead is now down to 8.5 seconds. Andrew Hopley is now 5.4 seconds ahead of Paul Burgess, who is in turn 4.4 seconds ahead of these guys here.
Well, yeah, I think AAA doesn't need to push his luck, does he? He's got a big enough gap. I can't see Hopley catching him unless he makes a mistake or there's a safety car.
Yeah.
By the amount he's closing on AAA now, I have a feeling he's got his afterburners on right now trying to catch up.
Yeah, there's only we got 16 and a bit minutes left.
Well, let's go. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
Gregory was crawling all over the back of Double R's car there.
He's still looking. He still wants to get by.
Well, they had a 1-2, didn't they, last week?
Yeah, they did.
H cars.
Yep, they had some formation driving.
Moment sitting second and fifth.
Gregory trying different lines to Double R, and Kevin Viermont now really on terms with him, but is that BMW just going to power off down the road? Look at it pull away. Look at it pull away.
And in TCR, now that they've all pitted, Tom Stanley back in the lead ahead of Carl Hardy, Scott Malcolm sitting third, David Ayres fourth, Roger Morton fifth. And they've all spread out a bit now after the pit stops.
Oh, Double R went wide there. Kevin Viermont got some wheel spin. This is Gregory's opportunity, I think.
Yeah, I think he wants Kevin to sniff his teammates' tailpipes instead of his for a while. I think that's what he's trying to get by. And of course, it is for position too, naturally.
It's all on the brakes. Who dares wins.
Oh
wow, Roman!
Yeah, I did wonder. That was a lot of speed to carry, but to get this still.
I think he got away with it.
I think he's
managed. How did they get through there without hitting each other? Wow.
Not a clue, Bill, but that was a miracle.
Sure was. Oh, Alan Toons on the chat. He said to say hi to you, Pete. I see hi, Pete, on there. Oh, man, he's talking to Pete.
PVG. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, he doesn't like me that much.
I was going to say, evidently, he's not a fan of yours and mine. So. Jeez.
So Triple A can uncross everything now, as we are not having a safety car.
Oh, right.
Unless we get a block track.
Yeah.
I don't think we have enough cars to block a track, do we?
Rob Van nearly got alongside then. He nearly managed it.
Kevin Viemont?
Sorry, Kevin Viemont, yeah.
That's okay. I thought
I'm
you were
talking
looking
about
at different.
random races now.
Not only we're gonna mix names, we're gonna put drivers in different cars. I like that. Good idea. I'd be really good at that. Good old senile Bill. Huh? What? Where are we?
Who are you? As we can see him in the picture, I'm going to take this opportunity to thank Double R for the fantastic artwork that he produces week in, week out for this series.
Absolutely.
It is fantastic. I don't know how he dreams up some of the things he does, but they're just amazing.
I'm lucky if I can join two sticks together, and he makes those things look beautiful. Wow. And they're creative, too. They're like, I don't know what kind of drawings you call them, but...
The one he did for one of the Canadian races last season was just sensational.
Oh, yeah. Yep. And when both cars were...
Kevin!
Watch the sausages.
Sorry, go on, Bill.
I was going to say, when the cars were different colors, he actually made 3 pictures, as you guys know. One in the kind of blue and the red, and then one for the total track. That was kind of cool, too.
They were fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Dark Horse Scott Malcolm is closing in on Carl Hardy.
I'm telling you. I swear, he
is
plays,
as well, yeah.
He plays dead, and then all of a sudden, boom!
He's got 1.5 seconds-ish to cover.
Do you reckon he could win a race if he actually tried from the start?
And qualified.
I really don't think it'd matter to him that much. He just enjoys racing.
He enjoys chewing my ass.
Well, that's Scottish for you, you know?
Do you reckon the Mika boys are going to be disappointed with where they've ended up this time?
Possibly. Although, if Double R finishes 5th, I think, after the damage he got and the loss of top end, I think that's a good recovery drive.
Oh, it's fantastic, without a doubt.
Kevin just didn't seem to be on pace, but I agree with you right at the start, Pete. I think we knew this was going to be a BMW track, so you win some, you lose some with the tracks, don't you?
You do, yeah. If you look at the standings now, the first 5 cars are now BMW.
Yeah.
Kevin's driving the top Porsche, and the next Porsches are quite a way back now with Stewart. Stewart's because he took so much damage, I think.
Yeah.
And then Stefan.
And I think Scott Malcolm he's caught Carl Hardy. I think Carl Hardy must have had a slowdown because not the lap he's just done, but the lap before was a 2-minute 10. That's Roger Morton just getting out of the way.
Yeah. Okay. What made him so far back? He was right with those other guys.
He kind of fell back after the pit stops. There's something going on.
I think he had a crash.
Did he?
Stefan Goebbels had a crash as well, which has given Stuart Dick another place.
Triple A, you don't want to be doing that. That's
Don't throw it away.
Yeah, I was going to say, a fine way to throw a lead away. Oh, right. Okay, that was what happened at Roger's pit.
Yeah.
That's a horrible place to spin as well. It's
bad road.
Around.
Ben's had a crash as well.
Oh,
somewhere.
Oh, no.
So this is Scott Malcolm with the tractor beam out for Carl Hardy.
Boy, he is closing in fast too.
Rapid, isn't it?
Wow. Must engage turbo.
9 minutes left.
See, I always found with front-wheel drive cars that catching the car in front is one thing. Actually getting past it was an entirely different thing. You don't seem to get the launch like you do on rear-wheel drive cars. Because it's effectively just dragging itself around the corner.
Any front-wheel drive car I ever tried always burned the tires up in about 2 laps.
Was this Kevin having a go?
It is.
He's doing more than having a go. He's got that position.
He has.
And he's covered it off. So Kevin, well, maybe temporarily, moves up into 5th place.
He needs that Oh,
no!
Roman!
That was all on his own, too. That's too bad.
How often do we see that?
At that turn as well.
You know,
It's always
Kevin
near the end
put
of the race.
all that work in, finally got the move done, and then his teammate loses it.
All by himself. Oh, and he got the front end of Kevin's car also.
He did,
I
yeah.
don't think it was much damage, though, but
No, more of a rub than a bang.
here comes Scott
Oh,
Malcolm.
look at this! Look at this!
He's having it.
He's going in the bus stop, too. He'll really clear.
And we've got
Oh,
Hopley
wait a
coming
minute.
up on him.
Whoa. Wow.
That was a very, very good overtake. Andrew Hopley's going to spoil this battle, I think, when he gets into this chicane ahead. Because is he going to clear him before the chicane?
Yeah.
He should, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, they're touching. They had a little touch there.
He did. Oh,
And
oh,
there. That'll be a slowdown for Scott.
it will.
Oh, that's too bad.
He seemed to turn in very sharply. I'm not sure what was going on there. Be good to see this from an
we have a
overhead
replay,
shot, if we could do.
Okay, we're on board. Well, we
Yeah,
were
more
on
like
board.
that. So he got alongside him and stayed there.
Wow.
Ooh. That's an odd one, that.
Yeah. I think.
Almost looks like Scott didn't know he was there, but he should have known he was there.
Yeah.
Me and Carl
Okay.
had that race in line.
Roman
double
Rotau is back out. Must have pitted for repairs.
Yep. He's going to come out with Ben Cullen, I think.
Yeah, he is.
Double R, you had a nice finish going.
I'm not sure how many incident is he?
Replay.
Because that looks more like pit lane penalty.
Ah,
If he goes straight through. Has he been pushing the limit somewhere?
that also extenuates the.
He's got
Well,
15 incidents.
Yeah, he got 2 times 4 incidents for car contacts. And
Right.
Okay.
maybe a few
okay.
weeks here and there.
It's
So
a
that-
drive
double.
through at 15, so that's what it was.
That's torn it.
Double R, come on.
Although, to be fair, he's not lost any positions.
No.
He's in 6th place. No.
Yeah, he's in 6th.
Huh.
He's not that far away from Ben Cullen. So this is Tom Stanley. We must be getting close to the end now, are we? What we got, about
We
3 or 4 minutes?
We've got
A little
just
less
over
than
4
2 minutes. Well, we got 4 minutes, you said?
4 minutes, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, don't go by the iRacing countdown, Bill.
Yeah, always off. So Tom Stanley's got himself a 26-second lead.
That'll be 3 wins on the trot if we haven't just cursed him.
Yeah, and that's called running away with it.
Yeah, my mistake. I didn't look at the broadcast time.
It's your first time on the SDK software, isn't it?
Well, no, when I first started, I was on it, but
Oh, well, yeah, right, okay.
And I'm still not on it, but kind of half-assed. Oh, halfway. I'm sorry. Got to figure out the little pictures now. I gotta figure out what's going on there.
And AAA only has a 5.5 second lead now.
Yeah, he's all right. He's taking it easy. Interestingly, a Porsche has got the fastest lap of the race.
Wow. Kevin Viamon, of course.
Nope, Stuart Dick.
Stuart Dick, huh?
See, he was very fighty at the start, wasn't he?
Yes, he was. You're right. AAA looks like he's going to the grocery store. Nice and smooth.
I think this is the penultimate lap. Unless he slows right down.
I wonder if that's what he's doing. Huh. Now, he's getting a little closer there, AAA. I'd put it down a little bit. It's 5 seconds, but I can see him. If he takes the motorcycle curve and gets away with it, you're in trouble.
And Ben Cullen's not letting it lie. He's
No, he can see a position there, can't he?
yeah, and he wants a bit of that. He certainly turned up the wick in the last couple of laps, that's for sure. His last lap, I think, is one of his best ones of the race, the 201.24.
Ben, leave the flicky lights along. Oh, you're going to get him. Go get him.
Oh, he is as well. He's having this.
All right.
Roman's a bit squirrely coming out of the slow turns, isn't he? Don't know how much rubber he's got underneath that car now.
Nice exit, Ben. Go get him. We got Robert Ben right behind Ben. Huh.
Yep, good bit of BSTV simulated racing there.
Definitely.
So leader's about to start the last lap.
There's a few cars now getting rather close to one another. So Stuart Dick's reeled in Mark Heron a bit further back, but this is where the action really is at the moment, with Ben Cullen trying to get on terms with Double R.
Yeah, it didn't help him touching the curb there, did it? Bounced the car.
Throw him off a little bit, yeah.
It's like hitting like a small brick wall, though, isn't it? It's
yeah.
Great drive from Paul Burgess if he can hold that third.
He done it.
Fantastic. Yeah, totally right. And,
there he goes.
Whoa,
Stuart's
yes.
taking that position from Mark Heron.
Stuart is a crafty driver, I'll tell you.
And there is Paul.
This car looks relatively clean today, too. Look at that.
Yeah, all the action, like the crashing action, has been around him.
He kind of stayed in front of it or in back of it. That was smart. We'll give you credit, Paul. Even maybe you probably had nothing to do with it. We'll still give you credit for it anyway. Is this a checkered flag coming up?
Should be. Tom Stanley slowed down there. He obviously doesn't want to do another lap.
Yeah. Flashing lights from AAA.
Fantastic win and a celebration from AAA. Well, I think he's celebrating or
He's
beating his monitor
fist
up or something.
Pumping his fist on the inset picture there. All right, AAA, yeah.
Andrew Hopley comes home second.
Your two class victors in shot at the moment, doing a bit of formation driving.
Yeah, Paul Burgess third. Takes the bottom
Paul.
step of the podium. TCR Tom Stanley wins again. Carl Hardy takes second. And Scott Malcolm third step of the podium.
Yep.
Well, that was an awesome race.
It really was. It was very good.
That was cracking, that. Apart from when my iRacing crashed.
Well, we seem to be taking it in turns for that, don't we?
Yeah, definitely.
And me with half of SDK. Okay, we're doing all right. I could see the broadcast picture tonight instead of making up what was going on. It's AAA's first victory this season.
Yeah, so in a change from last season, we've had 3 races and 3 different winners.
That's excellent. Excellent.
So those must be the official finishing positions, are they, Clyde? Do you want me to run through those?
Go for it.
So GT4's finished with AAA Abdul Al Amri as your race winner for asymmetric GT4. Andrew Hopley came home second for H Motorsports. Paul Burgess for 9th, Light Racing in 3rd, so that's a really good podium for Paul there. Gregory Vranks, again for H Motorsport in 4th. In 5th, Kevin Viamont for Mika Esports. Ben Cullen followed Kevin back in 6th place for BSTV Esports. His teammate Rob Venn in 7th. Roman Ratto, double R, in 8th for Mika Esports. 9th was Stuart Dick for Asymmetric GT4. Mark Heron, a privateer, in 10th. 11th was Stefan Goebel in the VTS Germany BMW. Or was he a Porsche?
He's a BMW.
No, he's a Porsche. Double checked. Simon Chester.
Oh, yeah, so he is, yeah.
Simon Chester in 12th. In Northern Lights Racing GT Amiga. And Yaz Samai rounds out the field in the 9th Light Racing BMW.
Okay, into your TCR final standing. So Tom Stanley wins again, 3 out of 3. Carl Hardy takes the 2nd step on the podium, and Scott Malcolm the 3rd step on the podium. 4th place for David Ayres, and 5th place for the returning Roger Morton. We've got nobody to interview. What's everybody being shy?
I don't know. You'd expect AAA to turn up if nobody else. He's got a win. Tom Stanley's in the asymmetric chat, but he's not joined the interview room yet. So we'll give him a few minutes. Maybe they're all.
I'm sure they will. GT4s. So Andrew Hopley continues his comeback after the issues of round 1, but had an issue all on his own tonight, didn't he? So AAA takes the win, and he's just popped into the booth. So we'll bring him straight in for you, Pete. Our GT4 winner, Abdul Amri.
Abdul, good victory, mate. How are you doing?
I'm all right, thank you. Sorry, I've got the cold, but the victory made that disappear.
I'm sure it did. I'm sure everything feels better once you got a victory under your belt.
Yeah.
So you played. Well, you were in a few little scraps, or it was around you, I should say, and then gifted a bit of a gap when Andrew at the bus stop?
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
I'm just trying to remember what happened myself. And he got in a spin and then took the long way around to pointing in the right direction again. And you ended up with about 15 seconds, and you've managed to, I guess, balance your racing. Drove a careful race from that point on.
Yes, I've never been so focused on the relative as I've been in this race. Andrew was like 12 seconds, and then I finished with like 4 seconds. It was not easy. Easy. My heart rate is off the roof right now. I'm so excited. It's not a joke. Wow.
Is your heart rate anything to do with the celebration at the end of the race? Because we did have your stream on with your celebration.
Yeah, a little fist pumping there, Abdul.
I was so nervous because I know Andrew. When he's focused, he's just on it lap after lap. So I had to be careful, but still be fast. So all that I just had to let go at the end.
Yeah, very professional performance from you. No issues with your pit stop. You were in and out in fine fashion, and brought it home for the victory. It's been a good night for Asymmetric, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. Unfortunately for Stuart, otherwise it would have been probably podium for both of us, and with Tom's win, that was awesome. Yeah, it was just unfortunate for Stuart.
Yeah, he got tangled up in that turn one incident and took a whole load of damage.
Yeah.
It's just one of those things. It happens sometimes. It's just a misjudgment, I think, on Gregory's part. But yeah, fantastic night. Anybody you'd like to thank for helping you along your way to this race victory?
I've got my team to thank, Stuart, Tom, for the practice we've put in. I think we've focused on this race. We prepared, and I guess it paid off. Got to thank you guys for just incredible stuff you keep doing every week in, week out. And yeah, all I can say is next time we're going to try and move that chicane away.
Yeah. Just put it anywhere else but there. And reduce the height of the yellow walls that are either side of it as well. That'd help, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. Always entertaining. Fantastic race tonight. AAA.
Well done, AAA.
Thank you very much. Bye.
Okay, so let's keep the interviews rolling and get our second place finisher in GT4. Andrew Hopley, welcome to the booth.
Good evening.
Good evening. First of all, how's your daughter?
She's all right, actually. She's all right. Yeah, she's getting into trouble at school, so it can't be too bad.
Oh, yeah,
Okay,
fully
good.
recovered then. So how do you look at tonight's race? Was that one that you threw away, or was you happy with your recovery to second?
I'd say I'm happy with my recovery to second. I think knowing Daytona, you're never really going to pull away. Not with the likes of Abdul, Stuart, Greg, Roman, Kevin. You're not going to pull away. So yeah.
It was. The first part of the race was just battle after battle after battle, and then you seem to pull a gap, and then obviously you had your issue. I think it was at the bus stop, wasn't it?
Yeah. So the plan was to maximize qualifying, which we did. Get a 1-2 on the grid, and then the plan was to sort of lead the pack away and use the two cars to defend the positions. But Greg got taken in lap 1, and it kind of fell apart from there with a few incidents, and that then opened a bit of a gap between me and Abdul. But Abdul had some fantastic pace at the bus stop,
Yeah.
He really did. And so, yeah, I saw it coming, to be honest with you. And I knew when he made that move down towards the bus stop, well, you know, before, as you enter the straight down to the bus stop, I came off the gas and I thought, well, the best thing I can do now is try and save some fuel. And the first attempt to go into the bus stop behind him, trying to save fuel, so lifting and coasting, I just overdid the brakes. So let off the gas early and tried to brake late, and it just didn't work for me.
Right, and then you know, after the pit stops, the gap was about 12 seconds. You must have been praying for a safety car.
Definitely praying for a safety car, or for Abdul to absolutely clatter the last chicane.
But yeah, unfortunately, neither happened. But you know, as usual, we enjoyed watching you racing. You know, after round one and everything that happened, you know, it's another bag full of points for you towards the championship. So well done. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
Well, a big congratulations to Abdul for the win. Well deserved win. Yeah, you know, he's stepped his game up. He's got some incredible pace this season. So, yeah, big congratulations to Abdul. Thanks for the broadcast, guys, and Greg, my teammate. That's pretty much it.
Excellent. Well, as usual, thanks for joining us in the booth. Second place GT4 finisher, Andrew Hopley. I've lost me bidding badong again.
No,
good.
No, you can't hear it. It's there.
Okay, so next for you, Pete, somebody that we've all mentioned has had an absolutely fantastic drive tonight. Third place GT4 finisher, Paul Burgess.
Good evening, Paul Burgess. Bottom step of the podium, but it's the podium. What a drive. Tell us about it.
Yeah, it was just first half of the race. Well, first bit of the race was just keeping in touch with the lead guys. And then Roman and a couple of the others had a coming together that I managed to just squeeze by without getting any damage. And from there, Roman had damage. So once I got past him, really, it was a big thanks to Roman holding everyone else up behind me that let me build the gap.
Yeah. Checks in the post, is it?
Indeed, it is.
I mentioned a couple of times how well you were performing and how you've managed to avoid everything that went on around you. You were on the back of that big group. We can see it on the broadcast at the minute, actually. A group of 4 cars, and then they clattered into one another, and you kind of just sailed past.
Yeah.
There was only AAA ahead of you for a good portion of that race. What was your strategy before entering? Survive or get myself a podium?
Well, I'd done quite a bit more practice this week because I've been off work, so I had the time. So that helped a bit. So I was really hoping to just stick with the lead group because obviously around Daytona, you know, it's going to be slipstream for the first half until something happens. So it was stick with the lead group and see what happens and see where you can go from there.
And no safety car.
That was a big help. I was keeping my fingers crossed for that one because I didn't want that gap closed artificially because I knew those guys behind were going to be faster once they'd got their damage fixed.
No, it was a brilliant night. Where did your teammate finish? Yaz
He finished in the pits.
Yeah,
did he? Right.
He forgot to brake on the last lap. He gave me a good rundown of what happened.
Right, okay. Oh well, shame for Yaz, but never mind. Maybe next time for Yaz. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go and pop your simulated champagne?
Well, of course, Yaz for encouraging me to enter in the first place and giving me the banter throughout the race. And I think I also need to thank Roman as well for holding everyone up. And of course, a big congratulations to Abdul and Andrew for their 1 and 2.
Spot on. And good mentions there as well. Thank you very much. Paul Burgess, our 3rd place finisher. Flushed.
That is really putting me off not having that bidding badong. Okay, so next we will get in our 5th place finisher in GT4, Kevin Veermont. Welcome to the booth.
Hello.
Hello, Kevin. rough race for you tonight?
It's a difficult race for me. I have not practiced this week. For me, I think maybe the drop race, but it's a good result.
So we saw you in a fantastic battle with Gregory Vranks, and you kept putting the pressure on him lap after lap after lap. You finally get past him, and then your teammate spins out in front of you, and you lose the position again. How
Yeah.
frustrating is that?
Yeah, it's a very good battle with Gregory. With Porsche is impossible to overtake um, on the straight and at the bus stop. And I say if I uh, so so close to Gregory, I have a chance at the turn one, but Romain spin at the turn 4, and I have a contact with him.
Yeah, well, that does happen from time to time, but this definitely wasn't a track for the Porsche. But you was the top Porsche finisher in 5th place, so congratulations on that. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go, Kevin?
Yes, I thank my partner, Kino Pro, nuage+.com, Transport Dig et Clément, and Domaine Filatro. And I would like to thank all team members of Mecha Sport.
Excellent. Well, thanks for joining us in the booth as usual. 5th place finisher in GT4, Kevin Beaumont.
Thanks. See you next week.
Okay, so let's keep the GT4 interviews rolling with our very own teammate and 8th place finisher in GT4, Rob Venn.
Good evening, Rob. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. It's a bit of a long race. So, yeah.
Yeah, Daytona always feels like that. Have you raced here much before?
No, not really. It's the first time I've used the NASCAR version with the third chicane, and yeah,
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, the curbs are mental, but yeah.
Yeah, I didn't see you get into them too much, but you probably found all that out when you were in practice. So you followed Ben Cullen home in the end. You were, where did you grid? You gridded a bit further back, didn't you? Yeah, you gridded 9th, and worked your way up a couple of spots. You benefited right towards the end from Roman having a drive through. So tell us about the rest of your race up to that point. It looked kind of stable and steady and good, actually.
It was sort of stable and steady at the start. I sort of lost it a little bit halfway through, so I lost a bit of pace. I had a bit of a interesting sort of entry to the first chicane, so I got a really good draft and ended up on the outside of Roman, and you sort of had to abort it. So yeah, I think I had a bit of damage underneath the car after that because I lost a bit of pace. But then I sort of got back together again towards the end. I suppose it's motivation to seeing Ben sort of about 5 seconds in front, sort of dragged me along a bit.
Yeah, and you damaged the bottom end of this bottom side of this car, and or underneath is how it should be known. Don't know why I'm struggling with the English language tonight. And that's kind of damage that you can't really repair. The fast repair does, but it takes so much out of the handling and the top speed of the car that it's really quite inhibitive. So I think you've done a fantastic job there, finishing 7th. Did you do a lot of practice for Daytona, or was it a bit of an arrive and drive, or have you been in sessions all week?
About half of what I normally do. I must admit, you sort of find it's not a track I really liked. So yeah, finding motivation to practice was a bit difficult. But yeah, Yeah, I think I was a bit lucky to be honest towards the end, and it was sort of a bit of attritional, wasn't it, in terms of people getting drive-throughs and slowdowns and that type of thing. So.
Yeah. Where are we at next week with the officials?
We are as he quickly opens up the file. Road Atlanta.
Oh, my favourite track ever. What do you think of Road Atlanta, Rob?
Yeah. The first bit's quite nice, isn't it? The sweeping down the hill and all that type of thing. It's very sort of it's good.
Cool. Short and sweet. Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go?
You guys for putting the stream on, and everyone who races. To be honest, it'd be nice to have a few more people, sort of in the race. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really clean championship, and yeah, it's good.
Yeah, it is a really clean championship, and it will attract more people over time, I think. But great racing tonight, Rob. Fantastic performance. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'm convinced I'm making Scott Malcolm wait till last because he moaned at me last week. Yeah. So let's bring in Roman was 8th in GT4. Welcome to the booth, Roman.
Hi guys, how are you?
Not too bad. So your race started off well. You was putting lots and lots of pressure on Andrew Hopley. Then you had some contact, and it looked to us like you was down on top speed.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then obviously you got it repaired. You back on it again. And then you had that horrible little slow spin, and then a bit of contact with your teammate, which pushed you over the incident limit and gave you a drive-through. So a bit of a roller coaster ride for you tonight.
Yeah, it was a fantastic race from my point of view. Even if I'm very scared about at the start of the race trying to pass Andrew by crossing the line, and I got hit in the back of the car. So and have a little damage on the car. And same several laps later with Greg when we missed our braking at turn 1. After it was a very hard race, we had to defend against Greg, who put a lot of pressure on me. And at the end, I lost my car. So yeah, I took a drive through, and in the last lap, in the last sector, I have no more fuel. So I cut the last chicken for past the line, and so it's in short a fantastic race for learning, but less good race in terms of championship. So we will recover with Kevin.
I'm sure you will. And something we did mention on the broadcast, and something I'd like to say to you in person is thanks for the artwork that you do for the series. It is absolutely fantastic and absolutely original as well. So I really look forward to seeing them when you post them.
Yeah, no problem. You can use this. No problem.
Excellent. So are you? You said it was a great race. Are you generally disappointed with 8th place? You looked like you had the pace at the start to be up there challenging, maybe even for a win.
Yeah, but I learned very very good terms in this race. So I'm focused on the good things, and I hope I don't do the same result for the rest of championship. But it's not a bad race because we have a good rhythm, but we have a lot of problems during the race. So yeah, I prefer focus on the right things. We do good things today with Kevin. It's the first time we use the strategy because it's first time we are in the same second on the track. So yeah, that was a good race for much things.
Excellent. Well, it's good to hear that you're looking at the positives out of that. So before we let you go, anybody you'd like to thank?
Yeah, I would like to thank my team, Mikai Sport, my partners, Kinos Pro, Transport du Monde, Nuage et Plus de Com, Saumur et Champigny, and you guys for your broadcast and the championship. That was a crazy championship and a very pleasure to race with these guys.
Excellent. Well, pleasure as always.
And just one thing, if you don't know, 3 or 4 racers of this championship in GT4 are in the top 20 world in the GT4 categories in the iRacing. So that was a crazy championship and a good pleasure to race against these drivers.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. So, as I was going to say, absolute pleasure as usual to have you in the booth and to watch you race. 8th place in GT4, Roman Ratu.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
Okay, so we've made him wait long enough. He's been on the naughty step for a week. Pete Bingham, the one and only 3rd place finisher, TCR, Scott Malcolm.
Good evening, Scott. Are you still there? You've been waiting a while, mate. Have you had too much whiskey now? I don't know. Anyway, so not the greatest of race starts. You ended up at the back at one point, didn't you?
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It's kind of strange, but maybe we back up.
You did, yeah, and spent a lot of the race duking it out with David Ayres and Roger Morton. And then, were you fighting with Cal Hardy at one point? Not really. But that was fantastic. You managed to stave off a lot of their attentions, and then the pit stops happened, and then everybody split up. Any explanation for why that happened?
I think that Tom and Carol won different pick strategies. I was praying for this yellow flag coming out, but it never happened.
How ironic.
I know.
That yellow flag that he hates.
Yeah, praying for it.
Yeah, I was actually praying for it this time. But it actually worked out pretty well because I think Carol had a bit of muck up in his pit stop, and I managed to get just, I was about 6 seconds behind him, and he got to slow down, so I caught him with that. But then, like, Carol's not very good at saving his tyres, and I just managed to catch him by doing that.
Yeah, we see that from you a lot. You're not exactly fast away from the start, but you certainly pick off races as you make your way through the race. What do you think of that that lovely chicane at the end of the lap?
No comment.
It doesn't even deserve a comment.
I don't even know what the purpose is.
Yeah, it's a family show. So, even with the 3rd today, have you still got a title shot at this, do you think? Or is Tom Stanley starting to stretch his legs in the league?
Tom's just too fast. He's just too fast for everybody. As it shows what was about, so like 24 seconds ahead of everybody. And even near the start, he was 12, 13 seconds, maybe more, before the pit stops. So barring a complete and utter disaster, I think Tom's got this sewn up.
Well, we've seen stranger things happen, so you can only hope. Maybe you'll get a safety car next time. You never know. Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go?
Just the usual crowd. You guys for putting on the broadcast, putting your time up for this, and the rest of the drivers for turning up.
Well said. And we will catch you at Road Atlanta. Is Road Atlanta a track you like?
Yes.
Yes, that was absolutely definitive. Clyde, he loves that track.
Yeah, just a quick question, Scott, before we let you go. We mentioned it in the broadcast. You seem to come alive about halfway through the race. You could win a race if you tried from the start. You know that, don't you?
The setup that I've got that I use, it does take a wee while for the tyres to warm up, and then I know that the rest of the guys they're not very good at saving the tyres, so that's how I just pick them off like that.
That's fair enough. Okie dokie.
That's the tactic that works. So thank you very much, and congratulations on your third place finish in TCR, Scott Malcolm.
Cheers, guys.
Okay, so that's the interviews over. I was just thinking there when you was asking Scott about, is it all over? It's like a role reversal from last season.
It is.
I think 3 races in, we was like, can anybody touch Andrew Hopley in GT4? And the TCRs were just, up, down, left, right, shake it all about. And this season, it's Tom Stanley running away with it in TCRs and 3 different winners in 3 races in GT4.
Yeah, I mean, it's not helping Sam out with his cameras, that's for sure, because he doesn't know where to point them next. It's still competitive, like ridiculously competitive in TCR, just like it was last time, but it's for the next few steps down on the podium. The racing is just as good. And anybody that says you can't get decent racing and an entertaining race out of a shorter field, I mean, there's only 5 of those TCR guys on the track today, and that they were featuring, a good portion of the time because they were all over each other in 2 pockets, but they were all over each other. It was a great race tonight, and GT4s, that's hotting up. If we continue like that, that's going to be anybody's title come the end of it.
Yeah, definitely. And, we got to give a shout out to AAA Abdul Al Amri. Lovely chap and a well-deserved victory. He's plugged away all last season. He's always had the pace and managed to get his win under his belt tonight. And also, probably not overshadowed, but Paul Burgess, Bill, that was a fantastic drive. You can say all the cards fell in his favour, but you've got to be in the right position to take advantage when these things happen.
Well, I'll tell you, Paul Burgess showed his mettle. He was, he said that he was fortunate that things happened, and he's probably correct. But, you got to be in the hunt to be there, and he was close. He was part of that pack that was fighting to be up there in first, second, and third place, and he came out ahead of him. He did a magnificent job, and he definitely earned that third place finish, no doubt about it.
Yeah, and into TCR, Pete, we did just touch on it, how close the racing is, even though Tom Stanley has taken away 3 victories out of 3. Is there anybody in the current field that you can see toppling Tom at any point?
Chris Shaw, when he turns up and doesn't get caught up in other people's incidents, because that seems to be what's happening at the moment. If Carl Hardy and co put in their practice, you can see when they've put practice in and when they've not done so much, or rather, they don't necessarily like the track. He's consistent though, isn't he? He's smooth. He doesn't make massive mistakes. It's gonna take some extra special effort from somebody. I think if I was putting my money on anyone, it'd be Chris Shaw, but he's got a lot of points under his belt already in 3 races, hasn't he?
Yeah, I think, touching on what Scott said there, I think Carl Hardy has got the pace to challenge him, but like Scott says, he just burns his tyres up. So he needs to. I don't know. Perhaps it's in the setup that they use. Possibly not, because I think Scott uses. I think they all practice together and use the same setup. Maybe. So maybe he just needs to tweak his driving style and try and conserve them tyres a bit, and that will get him that win that he craves. But overall. Daytona, for me anyway, never fails to give a good race because of the massive tow that you get from everybody. And yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. Like I say, congratulations to AAA and Tom on their wins. And we move on to Road Atlanta, which is another one of them tracks that can quite easily bite you, and you can be away in the lead and make a mistake, and it's all gone. But the last thing I just want to touch on, Pete, is we introduced this random safety car, and some like it, some don't. But really, really interesting tonight to hear from the drivers. Some were praying for the safety car. Some were praying it didn't come out. So, it's certainly playing on their minds during the race.
Yeah, and it should. We saw tonight that there was clearly two camps of tactics. The majority of them all piled in on was it 2 laps, really? And then just a small spattering gambled, and it's a big gamble, isn't it? Because if that safety car comes out and you've not pitted, you're done, really. But they gambled it, and it paid off for Scott for sure. Was it David Ayres that followed him round, or was it Roger? It was one of those two. They've managed to up themselves a little bit in terms of time, if not position. So I think we'll see future changes in tactics. I don't know whether this will lull them into a false sense of no safety car security. I'm not sure. But we'll certainly find out, and we'll find out at Road Atlanta.
Excellent. And a quick race summary from you, Bill?
Well, it seems like everything's been covered, but I'd like to also congratulate AAA and Tom Stanley, and of course the other podium winners as well, and everybody that showed up. Even though it's a lean field so far, you guys put on an excellent show. A lot of infighting battles, but clean, respectful driving. Had a couple little incidents, but no major stuff. I mean, it was all either self-induced or just, race and deal, one of those things. But appreciate anybody that tuned in, all our subscribers, and all the people on the chat, of course. And thanks a lot to my colleagues, and hope to see you all Friday night, of course, for the V8 Supercar Strength of Field Euro, and of course next week at Road Atlanta, one of my favorite tracks also.
And Sam,
saying that I've been busy today. It was a great race, really. As I said during the broadcast, I wonder if I should race one, because that sounds really exciting. Yeah, it was a really good one. I really enjoyed it. So
excellent. Right, so what have we got coming up for you? So Friday night we are at Le Mans for the Friday night European Strength of Field race in the V8 Supercars. Then what have we got coming up? I don't know what's next. Sunday. Sorry, I'll be with it in a minute. Sunday, I won't be with you, but Pete and Bill and Sam and Marco will, as we go to Road America for round 3 of the VRA GTCC. And then, as we said, we're back next Wednesday with this series from Road Atlanta. So,
Clyde, do we know what time those races are, like on Friday and Sunday, by any chance, for the viewers? Well, we know that the strength of field is 8 what is it? 8:15.
Yeah,
It's 8:15 GMT.
GMT, correct. And I'm not sure about the one in
6
wherever we're going.
GMT.
Yeah.
6 GMT. Okay. Thank you, Clyde.
No worries.
No worries, man.
Anytime. So yeah, thanks to all the drivers. These cars and these drivers, they give us some absolutely fantastic racing. It's always clean. It's always respectful. Thanks to everybody that chips in on the chat. Make sure you give us a like before Pete shouts at you. Make sure you subscribe to us on YouTube. Make sure you follow us on Facebook, and then you'll never miss one of our broadcasts. Thanks to Pete, Bill, and Sam for being with us. So I shall say good night, everybody. Let the guys say good night, and we'll close the broadcast. So good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. Great on the chat tonight. See you next time round.
Okay, good night, everybody. Thanks for everybody who drove, tuned in, listened, whatever. And please check out our merch. We have some great stuff. The T-shirt I got, I absolutely love. I have to wash it like almost every day because I love wearing it. So, it's going to be the next greatest thing. I mean, when we go to the top, you're going to be happy you got one. So the first few editions could be collector's items. You never know. So have a good evening. Hope to see you Friday.
Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. And yeah, we'll see you on Friday. Have a good one.